we'll get started. So we're just getting to our presence and our awareness. So we close our eyes and we notice how we start to work with the breath, taking a breath in and noticing how the body feels. And then on an exhale, just seeing if we can find a little more space and comfort and release. Readjust as needed. Now notice your thoughts and see if there's anything that's bothering you that you can just let float away like clouds float across the skyline. Just try not to attach to anything. Just come back to the breath, noticing breathing in, noticing breathing out. Noticing when we breathe in that we count maybe, or we just have a deep, deep breath with the count 4 or 6, just to check in and how see we're breathing. Hold it for maybe 2 at the top of that deep inhale. And then exhale for 4 or 6 or even 8. Push it all out. And just repeat. Come back to a normal breath in and breath out. And once again, notice the body. If there's any tension, see if you can release it. Any discomfort, see if you can just breathe healing comfort into it. And come to set your intention. What is it you came today for and need, want, that you can work to manifest? We can open our eyes and maybe uncross our legs the other way. Or, oh, you're not even crossed, are you?
I didn't cross.
Are your knees or hips bothering you? Do you want to try your blocks? Just to
No, actually, I'm comfortable.
like that.
I like this too because I'm getting the hip stretch that I think I really need.
Good, good, good. I'm noticing that, over all my years of practice, I always thought the little discomfort that I feel down there in my back when I don't use something, and so using something helps. So that's my whole message, and I need to keep giving that, making sure, and then even checking in with myself. So I recross my legs differently. Now we're going to take a nice inhale, arms up overhead. And then we're going to take the left arm forward, the right arm back, and we're going to turn to the right. Feel a nice twist with those arms reaching out and the body twisting to the right, looking over that right shoulder if you can, and still staying nice and long in the spine. It's a real worker here. Keep stretching out long and twisting to the right and lengthening to the ceiling. On the inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, let them fall down. Inhale up. Exhale, right to the front, left to the back. Look to the back, stretching the left side. Just breathe here, reaching out nice and wide, nice and long in the spine. When you're long in the spine, you can think about engaging the core so the belly button tries to pull in a little bit. Even if you just think about it, you might not feel the muscles doing it, but think about it. The muscles will follow. And then on an inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, arms down. Ooh, wiggle that out. That's a good one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do it again. Inhale, arms up overhead. And as you exhale, left hand forward, right hand back, nice and long. Twist. Breathe comfort into the neck. Don't let that strain. You get that by taking breaths and filling in and releasing any stress. Engage in the core. Arms up overhead on the inhale. And exhale. It's out. It's a lot on the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Right hand forward, left hand back and twist. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, let them down. You may hear me doing that or do you know that breath at all, the Ujjayi breath?
I know that we've done that one where you bend over.
Right, that's called lion's breath.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Ujjayi breath is that sound, that Darth Vader sound that you can make when you breathe in and when you breathe out. It's easiest to understand first when you breathe out. It's kind of like when you fog up your glasses. And I like it very much as a audio cue of relaxation. So when I breathe in, it's kind of a vibration in the back of my throat. It just calms me a little bit more by hearing it. Your mouth is closed when you inhale, make it all in your throat, and then you exhale. You can have your mouth open or closed. So we'll play around with that again in a different pose. Now we'll come on to doing our cat-cows. So that means that we're on our hands and knees. I haven't asked you, so I have another young lady that comes in and her knees bother her. Do your knees bother you? Can you be on your knees?
I can be on my knees. We'll see how long.
Okay.
I might have, the worst I'll do is
Why
put
don't you
that
start
down.
with that? It's a good practice to take care of yourself. You're not cheating in the pose by putting that blanket down.
I know, but right now I'm comfortable and I like that.
You like being able to feel comfortable.
You know, I like not feeling pain, let's say that.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Okay, our back's nice and flat. As we exhale, we round down. The head falls down, the upper back arches. As we flow through it, inhale. We tilt our tailbone up, our head up, our back caves down, opens our throat. And we exhale, round down, back arches, head falls. And here you can play with that sound if you want. We're inhaling, arching up. And exhale, round down. Good. Exhale, round down. One more cycle. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, round down. I do want you to either take your blanket or your block and bring it onto your heels. And see about coming to sit on your heels. Bring your hands forward, head down, belly's on your thighs, or you can open your thighs and push your belly between your thighs.
This one I don't think I can do.
Because your knees or because your hips?
Knees.
It is the knees. Okay, then we don't have to do it.
Well, but I mean, I can get.
You're in a different version of it, a modification.
I'm down further this way than if I bring my knees together.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Yeah. No, it's perfect that way.
Okay.
And your feet are flat on the mat, right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, no. Well, then let's just work. You're focusing. I'm doing my hips because I like my hips on my heels. And so I'm getting a pose and a stretch there. But if you don't need or do that, then let's just work on your shoulders. Just resting your head on the mat if you can and feeling your shoulders and your neck open. And we pull into our hands to bring us up. And then we'll curl our toes under. So we'll cross the mat with our toes. And then we're just going to lift our hips up to the sky. Good. And here's our first downward facing dog. And here you want to check in with your hands. Have your hands pushing the mat away so your arms lengthen. Your head falls between your arms. And take that tailbone and really reach it up to the ceiling. And then bring the heels down to the mat, lengthen in the back of the legs. And just breathe. Then bend the knees a little bit and look at the hands, and then just walk the feet up to meet the hands. Keeping the knees bent so that you don't overstrain, and then just roll it all up. Okay. Now we'll do that lion's breath, because they say with that lion's breath, it can help cool you in a weird way. You know, it starts to flow the energy, maybe the energy not being stuck cools us off a little bit. So we'll do a little bit of that too.
So inhale through the nose and exhale in the mouth.
But it's 3 inhales, so it's okay. And then practice that. And I'm not looking, and I certainly can't see what we want you to do is go, because it's just a very great energy that flows. It opens up the throat chakra so we can be creative and expressive. So it's good energy stuff. And yeah, let's have our feet about hip distance apart. That's good. And bend those knees when you come down. Five. 4. ragdoll. Just be comfortable, let it all swing, and let it slowly roll itself up. Good, good. I'm just trying to be in this camera thing here. You're fine where you are. But now we're going to go through some of the what we call, well, this is called Soya Namaskar, and it's a sun salutation. Not that we need any more sun right now, but it's also like a vinyasa flow that has the different poses. And in yoga, you start by just figuring out what I'm doing, what we're doing, and then eventually it should be that each part of the flow is a phase of your breathing. So there's an inhale part of the flow and an exhale. And you do the whole vinyasa on inhales and exhales. Sometimes when I take you through, we go slower and we can do a couple inhales in one part of the pose. So just a goal in the future. But this is Soya Namaskar B. So we start by our feet are balanced on the ground, all 4 points. We feel a nice and secure base. We bend our knees and come to sit in a chair. So this is called Utkatasana, chair pose. So we're here, our shoulders are relaxed, but our hands are kind of reaching for the seam where the wall and the ceiling meet each other. We engage our core so we feel that belly pulling in. Maybe make sure our butt's not arching up, it's kind of tilted down to the ground. We're spotting as much as we can into that chair, checking our neck is relaxed. And we're here. And then on an exhale, we come down to have our hands on the ground and our Uttanasana. So we straighten those legs a little bit, give a stretch in the back. And we can stay here a minute with a couple of inhales and exhales. Just starting to really feel that working. I like to keep trying to bend my knees and put my chest on my thighs and then straighten my thighs. Very tight in my hamstrings from running, but I try. And then that was exhales. Now on an inhale, we flatten our back, we bring our hands off the thighs. Head reaches for the front of the room or for where I am. And then exhale, we bring our hands down to the mat. We take the right foot back, the left foot stays forward. We drop the right foot and we come into warrior one. Good. Hips and shoulders are facing the front of the room. And you're bending into that left knee. And again, this is where I mean that each one of those things we just did is an inhale or an exhale, and you move pretty fast through it. But on an exhale now, we'll bring our hands down on each side of our left foot, lift the right heel, and we're going to come up. So right foot meets the left, and we come into as an inhale into that chair pose again, good. And then reach all the way up, and exhale. So we have a modification of our Soya Namaskar day. Now we inhale into our chair. We exhale into our forward fold. We inhale into our flat back. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Left foot goes back. Inhale into warrior one. Take your time. I'm just showing you how it can go. You're doing great. That left foot is down, right knee is bent, hips and shoulders are front of the room. Beautiful adjustment. Think about our belly pulling in as much as we can. Inhale, hands float down. Left foot meets right. I messed that up. Exhale, but now we come into our inhale chair. Exhale, stand. One more time. Good work. You okay? Inhale. Oops, no. I keep doing it wrong. Inhale. And then we exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down to the ground, right foot back, left head down, left foot up. Sorry, warrior one. Find your adjustment. My foot was too close. I don't like my feet to be parallel in warrior one. I like my back foot to be out at an angle a little bit. It gives me a better base, like closer to the edge of my mat versus in line in the middle of my mat.
Am I right?
On your right foot, I don't like it to be in the middle of the mat. I like it to be wide on the mat. It gives me a better, because when you're turning those hips and shoulders, if you're right behind each other, it's really straining that back leg for me. So I take it at a little bit wider stance, and then I can do a better job here. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you look really good. Arms up overhead. And we'll just enjoy this part now. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, feet together. And inhale. Or exhale, we can inhale to chair. Exhale, stand. Good. A little rough there. What I want to do now are a little bit of the chairs again. So we'll inhale into chair. We're going to bring our hands together, and we're going to take that left elbow on the side of the right leg, or just on the right knee. There you go. And then we're opening up to the right. And then we come back to center. And we come to stand. Down. Inhale, chair. Hands together. Right elbow on left thigh. And open to the left. And feel the chest opening and that breath getting deep. Come back to center. And stand. Good. We'll try eagle. So usually we do tree like this, but you can look at it. It's so pretty to look outside. We're going to see about crossing our leg over and having that, and then crossing our arm and being like this. Okay? So let me walk you through it first. So our hands are out in front of us, the right hand underneath the left. Bend our knees. The left leg goes over the right. Whichever place it feels comfortable, if you can, that's perfect. Now let's lengthen that spine long, reaching those hands up to the ceiling a little bit. Just doing the hands if that's the best for you right today, especially new time, first time. But eventually you engage the core, lengthen the spine, and sit deep. Balancing, focusing toes, obviously. And then we untwist our arms, untwist our legs, shake those legs out. Good for balance. Good for eating us up. Hands out in front, left arm under the right arm. Try to see the palms together. I didn't even help you with that part. There you go. Beautiful. Now let's just focus on the arms. So you want to take them long or high. Feel the nice, beautiful stretch in your back. Do you feel that?
Feel the shoulders.
Your shoulders, okay. Upper back, I meant. Bending into the knees. You can stay here, or you can see about that right leg coming over and finding where it can find balance. Ultimately, it is to have the right foot all the way around the left calf Raising the arms up, engaging the core, lengthening the spine, and sitting down deep. Everything in midline. Uncross the legs and uncross the hands when the teacher falls out of it. That's when it's over. All right, nice quiet time now with our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So it is so beautiful. So you can look out. I'm going to look out with you because it is so beautiful. Those are big clouds. It's hard to imagine when they're so clear and fluffy that it's oppressively hot out.
I know, because it is pretty.
Okay, so we are noticing, we can keep looking, but I might not be able to. I might need to close my eyes. My feet are planted firmly on the ground. That's my intention. I feel that the weight is evenly distributed. Maybe I rock and roll a little bit to see how it's not evenly distributed. And then I come back to feeling like I'm a tree trunk. Like all of the weight of me is balanced on those feet. There's no strain on one side or the other. And then I like to think of my head reaching for the sky, lengthening that spine. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are down the length of my body. I'd like to envision energy coming up through my legs, lifting my thighs up, the muscles around my legs wrap around the bones as my knees lift a little. I feel taller. I feel energy coming up into my pelvis, into my abdomen, into my chest, lengthening, opening. My neck is long, and then I kind of think of a beautiful light coming down through the top of my head, coming to the back of my neck, and reaching that earth energy. They're meeting at my heart area and just exploding with beautiful white and vibrant light inside my body. Energy that's circulating, healing, opening, clearing to every part of my body, my fingers, my toes, my blood, my veins, tendons, muscles, bones. Beautiful healing energy. Beautiful. And come to face the front of your mat again. I'll come this way. We'll do an inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold or Uttanasana, where hands come towards our feet again, trying to bring my body onto my legs, lengthen my legs, let my head fall down. Do a nice deep stretch. Inhale to a flat back, hands on shins, crown of the head reaching front of the room. And then I'm going to bring my hands down as I bend my knees. Hands are all the way down as I'm taking both feet back this time. It's a push-up. So the right foot back, the left foot back, both feet back. I'm in a nice strong push-up. I feel my core engage, my pull in my belly button. I come down as much as I can towards the mat. Where'd you get stuck?
Yeah, I know I can't do this.
Okay, well, bring your knees down. Sorry.
It's okay.
Bring your knees down. Good. And now let's just come down flat on the mat. Is your chest okay to do that?
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to push up our hands, keeping our belly on the ground, but our chest lifts, shoulders back. This is Cobra. This opens up the chest. Let's work, but try to breathe here. And then come down. Good. So we're here, and this is perfect because I wanted to do some what are called locust poses. to strengthen our back some.
Okay.
Again, chest is okay to be on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can take our arms out wide. They can lay on the ground. Our neck is comfortable, so readjust a little bit, looking wherever that keeps that neck. It's still crunched a little bit, but it's still a little open. The right hand lifts and the left leg lifts. Good. And let's just stay here for some breaths, just reaching out long in opposite directions and seeing if they can lift higher up to the ceiling in opposite directions. One more cycle of breath in and out. You can drop them down and rest the body a minute. Let the core, the abdomen fall in, relax, open up. And then we do the other side. So the left hand up, right leg up, and lift the chest and the leg a little bit more to open, reaching out, lifting up. And bring them down. If you're comfortable laying your face down on the mat, you can just bring your left ear on the mat and just let it all sink into the floor. And then we bring our head back up. Do one more cycle. So we lift our right, nope, what do we do first? Yep. Right hand up, left foot up. Check that neck and that gaze. Reach out, lift up, maybe a little bit more this time. Really strengthening the low back, which really helps with strengthening the core, which helps with low back pain. Preventing it or helping it, strengthening it all around. And bring them down, rest a minute. And then the opposite side. So left arm, right leg, long and up. Nice. Bring them down and take our right ear to the mat and rest for a moment. While we're in this position, if we want to try, let's see, bend your knees and can your hands find your ankles? To do a bow?
Nope.
Oh, thanks, no.
No. I'm
They're
stretched.
close.
I'm not stretched more.
Here is what bow looks like that we'll do eventually. Just fabulous for the muscles in the front of the body.
Maybe this time next year I'll be stretched out enough.
We could also get we could do all kinds of strap work on you to get you in there right now, but I don't know that much, so we won't. But that's a beautiful bow. So let's just come to roll over on that. And we'll sit up now. And you do have a strap or no?
Yeah.
Good. We're just gonna stretch that forward, seated forward fold. So if you want your strap, you can do that, because the trick here is around the balls of the foot and just holding where it's comfortable and then bringing yourself over it. And it just gives you a nice feeling. I like to explain the hinge. For me, that just works. It feels like a hinge in my hips, and I just keep trying to hinge myself down a little bit more. And then when I'm down as far as I feel I can hinge, I just let my body fall over, and either with the strap holding or just finding where you are with that hinge action. And then the body's just also, just like in Uttanasana when we're standing forward fold, just trying to fold over those legs. Opening up the whole back, the neck, the hamstrings. Good. And just breathing each time you breathe out, just see if you go down and feel a little bit more opening in any of those areas, the thighs, the back. I'm feeling opening each time I go down a little bit more in my back too, which is nice. And another beautiful part of yoga is to just really linger in a pose. The longer you're there, you can just open up more deep tissue for clearing and healing. There's, Iyengar yoga is the style of yoga where you're in this pose or several other poses for 10 or 15 minutes without any moving or adjusting. And it's just amazing how it opens things up without doing so much work. And we'll just let it come sit up. Beautiful. And does it feel like that was a long time to be there?
Yes and no.
Because I'm not patient and it's not nearly, I mean, sure it wasn't even 2 minutes, but it feels longer. And I've done a class where I've taught a class where we've been able to stay like 7 minutes. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I'm just not stretched enough, you know, to get like where you can get.
Yeah, well, it just takes a while.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm still not where a lot of people are. All right, so we're gonna come to lie down on that. Let's do a little ab workout here. Oh my God. How are your abs?
Not what they should be.
What, are you generally a strong ab person? Do you think?
I'm not as strong as I should be.
I just have amazingly weak ab muscles, and my one daughter's the same way. Like, we can't do sit-ups, and it's just genetic, we think.
Now, honestly, I can remember, I think I was in middle school, did 100 sit-ups in gym class.
No, we physically can't do a sit-up. Like, there's something wrong in this area, and I don't know what it is. She's gonna do one for me?
I don't know if I can do it, honestly. Probably not, now that I'm down here.
It's all right, I'm gonna challenge you. Go.
I mean, if I'm laying down on a table or something, I can
get up, but I can't do the traditional push sit-up.
And they've changed that too. From that all the way down position.
Yeah.
They've changed it because there were some injuries, I think. There's a different position to do it where you get the same.
Interesting. I mean, there's all kinds of great information and knowledge and experience about that. But we're here. This is called a modified boat. So our feet are on the ground, our knees are bent, and we're just going to slowly roll down that spine, keeping that core engaged and going as slowly as we can. True boat is like this, but that's also something I can't do very well. But just slowly as you can, come down. So lie down. And then we'll bring our knees in to give a nice little hug so the spine feels good, and rolling back and forth. And then let's do this. Let's take the right leg over the left, like we were in that eagle. Yeah, a little bit more. And then we're going to take our knees over to the left. If you want, you can grab your block. Are you working with me? You got me?
Right over left, and we're going to go left.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you can put a block under the lower leg, the left leg, or what have you, and that just kind of can help. Or you just keep going over as best you can. Your arms are out wide, and your gaze is over your right arm. Just add a little twist. The legs are giving some tension to make it a bigger, better twist. I want you to try to open your arms out wide. So that, yeah, there you
I
go.
think this is how I'm used to doing that.
Okay, good. And then take your gaze over your right hand. And you're feeling a nice little stretch there. On hopefully the right side.
Oh, actually, I'm on my left side.
You're on your left side. Good. Against us. And then we can bring those knees back to center. Let's bring both feet on the ground. The arms can stay wide. Now, I said right over left. Did you do that before? Or did I have you messed up?
I did right over left.
Okay, so now left over right. Just keep them right there. And then let's open to the right. Drop the knees to the right, I mean, and take our gaze over to the left. Over that left open arm. Now we feel the stretch in the left. If you ask me, is that what you feel?
I feel it in my arm. Is that right?
Your left arm?
Uh-huh.
Sure. But now just pay attention to the whole side of your left side of your body. Do you feel it like in that back a little bit twisting, the hip a little bit twisting over?
I don't.
The chest opening up a little bit? Okay. We'll bring those knees back to center. Both feet planted on the ground. We can hug the knees back in. Let's do a baby pose for our hips. So we're putting our fingers around our big toes. Our heels are reaching for the ceiling. Knees are bent. And we can just roll on that spine a little bit. Smile in our mats. And the more you pull those bend those knees towards the armpits, the more the hips get stretched. Does that work?
I think I'm doing this right.
You look like you're doing it right, but are you feeling any stretch in your hips?
No.
Any release? Okay. Maybe you're just that good and flexible there. Seems like your hips are pretty flexible. All right, we can release those legs. And we can bring them down the length of our mat. Readjust if you need to. And our hands are down the length of our mat. And this is where some people actually in a savasana like to be in that relaxation pose that I put you in. Do you want to lay on your bolster? We can both lay. I don't have my bolster, but I can lay on this. It's all the same. It's just finding how you are most comfortable and relaxed and honoring yourself and treating yourself and calming the body and calming the mind.
Is that how you had it?
You might, I don't know if you want your blanket ready to put it under your head. But again, we just kind of roll over that. I don't mind my head falling all the way down. I don't mind my legs being straight, but you can bring your feet together, your knees are out wide, and they fall open. Actually, I'm going to do that. Good. Got it. And then we close our eyes. Readjust if you need to, if that bolster feels awful or awkward or anything. Arms are down the length of our body. We'll just allow this to open us up more. Open the chest so that we get the deep breaths that we need when we need them. Open up the internal organs so they do their processing, metabolizing, digesting, eliminating. Quiet time, just let the hips open up a little bit more. And pay attention to your breath as you breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your attention back to that breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we can bend our knees, bring our feet to the mat. Bring our awareness back to the room, to our body. Take whatever arm we want and bend it and kind of get it ready as a pillow for our head as we bring our knees over to the side and we roll off of the roll. And just are in the side lying position, where the feet exposed, our head cradled in our hand arm. Or
I'm too propped up.
you're too propped up. Do you want to sit forward?
Yeah, this is high enough that it's comfortable this way. You can't roll.
You can't roll off. Okay. But did you like that feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's finish up our answering prayer. Palms are near our heart center. Eyes are still gently closed. Let's come back to that intention if we have it and if we can, so that we can say it again, so that we can continue to manifest it till we meet our mat. We end our session with namaste, which is thanks.